touching you do. Show me something, give me more than one thing. I need more than listen. Say you're the guy, baby. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See rewind. So nice, I can't let the sweet talk. Welcome to the G Spot. I'm your host, Dr. G. Alfred Palmer. Cheers. I'm already on my way. We've been dancing all night long. Riding with you way too long. Don't want nothing here, but I'm done waiting. Done wasting my time. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you don't need to say this to me. Don't even know that was bad. I'm already on my way, on my way. Sweet talk, sweet All right. Getting started a little late tonight. Actually, tonight's not the night that we go, but I wanted to speak on a particular topic, so here we go. Let's get started. Let's get this show on the road. Since we're running a little late tonight, let's fix the camera there a little bit. All right. I'm not gonna be with you long. Let me just put in my welcome. Because I want you to feel welcome to come here, spend this time with me. So, I want to, first of all, ask you to like, share, and hit the notification button underneath so that when I have new content, you'll get notified. But I want you to help me spread. If you feel that this content is worth anything. Some people don't. As a result, they don't share, or that's fine. But I'm a firm believer that what I'm supposed to do is going to come to fruition, regardless of what some people deem is necessary or not. But I want to talk tonight about the feminine mindedness versus the masculine mindedness, and its importance in understanding how to distinguish the two, and how the two don't necessarily have to agree, because they won't, because they're coming from two perspectives. So That's what I want to talk about, because I think mindedness is very, very important. How important is mindedness? I want to say that mindedness is so important that it's actually the first thing that ever was created. Um, it had to be, because in the biblical narrative, the creator is called the creator, but the creator can't be a creator without a mind. So the mind came before the act of creation, because you can't have a thing before the mindedness creates the thing in the mind. And so in the beginning was the mind, and the mind was with the creator, but the mind was the creator. So it's important to understand that mindedness plays a very, very critical role in how we think, how do we perceive the world, and how we operate within the world, how we hear things. And that's why it's important to know who you're speaking to in a given space or time. Sometimes people hear things, but because of their paradigm and the screen that they have, they sift through what's being said, and as a result are unable to hear what's being said. But not only their paradigm, but it's also their mentality and their masculine mentality or their feminine mentality that even makes it even more difficult to hear. But the bottom line is, not everybody's going to hear you. They think they are, but they're not, because they're not you. They don't hold what's necessary to hear, because it wasn't meant for them to hear that. And so often we try to hear things and argue over things that wasn't even meant for us. It wasn't even meant for us. So it's one of those kind of things that I think it's important to understand the difference between the mindedness between feminine and masculine, so that there can be a better understanding. For instance, I posted the idea of the necessity of guys being mindful of the carat of ring that they give their significant other when they propose. And I think that's indicative of a mentality that says that not because the bigger the ring, the better. That's not even the route that I've even gone about it. It's not about how much a ring costs. Here's why, and here's from a masculine perspective, why a guy should really take his time relative to getting the ring and getting a ring of significant carat for the woman that he cares about. Now, one of the things that we've got to understand is this: masculine is that which initiates, that penetrates, that fills, that inserts, that starts, that begins. Okay, so a masculine mindset has to be one that initiates, starts, penetrates, ignites, fills, and so we start stuff. So it's important that we understand that when it comes to, in this particular case, we can use it as an example, buying a ring. The masculine mentality is that you want a ring that not so much means so much from a monetary value, but you want, because you want to take your time, and through saving your money, putting aside, there gives you the opportunity to not only start, but to delve into your mentality and thinking of how important this move is, how significant this move is as far as engaging her. Because engagement is an initiation, it's a start, it's a feel by the man. So it's important that you feel that properly. And it's not the ring, it's what the mentality that comes as a result of the ring. So yes, it's going to take time for you to get the ring, but even during that time, there's a time of you introspection. Is this the right move? Is this, not only is this the right move, why is she it's a whole realm of things, whatever that's going to be for you. But what the ring saving to get a ring of significant carats does, shows a process of thinking, of introspection, of meditation, of prayer, of you not deliberate. See, some guys want to put a ring on it because they have a fear of losing it. It should never be the reason why you engage. It should never be the reason. The reason, if you have a mindset that you are fearful of losing, you have already lost. We as men have to understand what's mine is mine. And so if it's yours, then you have all the time in the world to do what you have to do. And if she's the woman for you, she doesn't have any problem with waiting, and she understands, because you should explain that. See, as a man, you explain the way you think, so she can understand that this is coming from a masculine perspective. You don't have to understand. You just need to appreciate that this is something that I'm putting thought into. I'm not only putting thought, but I am putting serious thought. See, and so when a masculine man begins to think from a masculine perspective, he's not going to think like a woman. He's not going to think, he's doing the best he can. No. That's not the man. The masculine man does far and beyond what anybody else expects. You don't go by the expectations of people. You are a man. Set your own expectations and don't let people set them for you. But as a man, what we do is we initiate, we feel, we start, we begin, we insert, we penetrate. And so you do those things with your mind, and you do that through this process of being able to think about how you're going to go about accomplishing this goal. In this case, it's the engagement. But this goes with anything. I'm just using this as an example, because as a man, what we have to do is we have to understand what makes sense for us as a man, because as we do that, we are able to strategize how we're going to go about that particular goal. And when she's able to see your plan, she can help come alongside to help you reach that goal. But we have to come up with a vision of how and why. And so how do we do that? We have to come from a masculine perspective. We have to think. We have to meditate. We have to contemplate what it is that we're doing and where the goal is. How am I going to get there? What am I going to do? And once you present that to her, whatever that is, she will help you strategize, crystallize where you're going, because that's what a woman does. That's what a woman does. So the masculine, we initiate. You know that saying, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Yeah. We are, because we don't think the same. We don't think the same. And it's intended that way by the Creator, because the two become one. And, I hear people say, she's my better half. No, she's not, because if one half's better than the other, you don't have a whole, you have a half. No, she's the other half. She's not better. You're not worse. It's just the rest. It is that which the two to become one. So we need the masculine mentality. But the masculine mentality is no good without the feminine masculine mentality or mindedness. And what is that? That is one that receives. That is one that is filled. That is one that assists. That helps to strategize and to plan and to fulfill. But she can't fulfill when you haven't initiated. She can't feel when you haven't initiated. So it's important that the man understand the critical nature of him initiating. Her mindedness is not the same. But if you are a man, you're going to give her the vision, and she's going to help you fulfill it. Now, when it comes to the ring, what we have to understand is that whatever you give her, she's gonna love it. She's gonna love it. But what you have to do is postpone immediate gratification, whatever it is, and be strategic in how you go about reaching that goal. And that's what happens so often. We're looking to get things done quickly. And as a result of that, we don't fulfill, and it comes back and bite us in some shape, form, or fashion. Now, hear this. When you're engaging a woman, what you have to understand is that is your first investment. That's your first investment. What do you want that investment to look like? Now, I'm sure someone will say, well, I did the best that I could. Well, you could have did better if you waited. You could have did better. Because the ring is a type and shadow from a masculine perspective, a type and shadow of the total investment of what you've put in, not just from monetary, but your spirit, soul, and body. It's not one or the other. It's all of that. It's spirit, soul, and body, and monetary. It's all of those things. So when we come together, what we have to understand is that the mindedness of a woman, that feminine mindedness, is critical. She's going to come up with ideas that you've never even thought of because of the way she thinks, the way that she's put together. And that's not a put down. That is a benefit. That's a positive quality, what she brings. She brings what you don't have, and you bring what she doesn't have. That's why two become one. So that's why it's important for us to understand that the mindedness that what I'm seeing now, and especially in social media, is the clashing of mindedness, and instead of understanding what masculine minded. Ladies, you're not going to agree with masculine mindedness. You're not because you're not built that way. But if you value the masculine mind that's in your life, see, that's why the Apostle Paul talked about husbands love your wife, but wives respect your husband. Now, if you respect your husband, you respect his mindedness. And if you respect his mindedness, you help him fulfill his mindedness with your feminine mindedness, which is to strategize to fulfill the vision. Because masculine mindedness brings vision, feminine mindedness brings strategy. Those are important. So if the goal is to buy a home, if that's the vision, and the type of home that you've visioned to buy, she's going to help strategize how we go about going about buying it. And you strategize together. Not that men can't strategize, but we are. But you have to understand that that's the way she's wired. See, what we want to do is we want to boss her. No, you need to listen to her. You need to consider her. And consider what she's saying, because what she's saying is going to help you. It's going to help you. So the bottom line is, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, but they're both planets in a solar system that's really very orderly and strategic and envisioning. The Creator had a vision for this solar system, an idea, and so it operates and it functions orderly. It's the same thing with the relationships, the masculine mindedness and the feminine mindedness. They're to operate orderly, and you only can do that by understanding the other person's perspective, not forcing yours, but understanding the other person's perspective. And then what we do is we meet and marinate at the point of truth, and we begin to come to the place of truth and come up with how we're going to go about doing what we're going to do. Feminine mindedness, the way she thinks. Masculine mindedness, the way he thinks. Now, let me say this: the mindedness comes from the Creator. You don't just get that. Many of you think that you because you agree because of you're tuning into his masculine mind, or you're tuning into you're tapping into your feminine side. You don't have a feminine side. She has no masculine side. That's why two become one, because you don't have what you need from that side, and vice versa. So you thinking you think you you have a masculine side? No, you have picked up masculine traits through your environment, your society, your culture, your schooling, your parents, your family, situations and circumstances. You may have picked some of that up and been shaped to have masculine traits, but you are not masculine at all. Not in your core, not in your being, not in your being. See, and that's where masculinity and femininity proceed from. It proceeds from your core. It's the very part of you that was created, that precipitated everything. And the reason why it precipitated everything is because the creator said that this is the best way that you are to fulfill what I'm sending you to do. You're to bring a feminine essence. You're to bring a masculine essence. And that masculine essence is going to therefore be transferred into the physical realm, and it's going to turn into a masculine physical representation. So your physical representation is a type and shadow of your essence and of your core. God doesn't make accidents or mistakes. You came here with the essence, as a type and shadow of the essence that you were intended to have. Nothing mistaken about you. And the purpose that you are here for can best be fulfilled through that essence. Through that essence. And the problem is, some of us come here, we don't like being what we are. We want to be something else. We don't want to receive. We don't want to be filled. We want to initiate. We want to inject. We want to insert. We want to fill. But you can't, because that's not what the creator meant for you. And that's what happens when people decide to go about their own way relative to how they're going to be represented in this particular realm. And this is why we have problems. This is why we have problems. People don't want to fulfill purpose. They want to do their own thing. And a part of that is because they don't know what their purpose is. They don't know. And because they don't know, they continue to do their own thing. Well, that's one of the things that we do at my one of my businesses. Excuse me. And you can go to gapalmer.com and we can help you to find your individual purpose. And in finding purpose, you'll be in one of the areas we talk about. Is this very area we're talking about right now? Gender. And the importance of gender relative to purpose. So why am I talking about masculinity and femininity? Because it has a lot to do, has everything to do with purpose. It really does. So me addressing, the whole idea of engagement is a type and shadow, or an example of the two-mindedness and how we represent both sides. We think differently. She will think differently about the ring than you will. She will think differently. So get that understanding, guy. Before you even, what does the ring mean to her? What does that mean? And that should influence how you go about getting it. What is her mindedness about the ring, the engagement ring? I mean, most women are going to say, it doesn't matter the carats, doesn't matter how many, but it does. It does. Whether she wants to admit it or not, it means something to those that would see it. You think not? Get her a ring that has a dust flake of a diamond, and see what everybody thinks about that ring. including her, but she's not going to say anything. I didn't have a lot of money. Then you should have waited. Your ring is significant to how you feel about her and the decision that you've made. It's valuable. It's an investment. But people are going to say, well, that's work. No, it's not worldly. It's not. You can call it whatever you want. But the bottom line is, anything that you have to take time, that takes time, you value more. You value more. But see, what we want to do is we want to hurry. We want to hurry. What's the rush? What's the rush? So, that's all I wanted to share tonight. You wouldn't believe some of the rigmarole that this particular topics about the ring had on with some people that on the social media. But I'm speaking to men. I'm not speaking to males. I'm speaking to men. Men know that ring is meaningful, don't you? You know that it's meaningful. So you need to go. It's meaningful not just for her, but for you. It means a lot. It means that you have made a quality decision. You've taken your time to think about it from every area of life, that this is the investment that you want to make for the rest of your life. So, I mean, no matter what kind of ring you give her, she's going to enjoy it. She's going to appreciate it. But it's not about her. It's about you. It's about you. It's about how you value what you've gone through mentally, spiritually, monetarily, what that means socially, romantically. You have to go through all that process and just take your time. And then it's in that process, maybe you change your mind. Maybe you count up the cost and you say, you know what? Or you count up the cost and you say, this is the right decision. It's totally a means of you determining whether this is the right. So okay, you don't have all that money right now, but saving and putting that money aside allows you the opportunity to think, to figure some things out. And that's okay. And if she has a problem with that, the whole idea of fear of loss is a sales idea that tries to get you to act without thinking. You should never fear losing anything or anyone. Never fear. If it was meant to be, it will be. So you go about doing it in the way that you think that is the right way. You initiated, brother. You initiated, my man. That's what men do. Males allow that decision to be made. Males do. But men make the decision and the determination. And that's how we move. Okay? Well, that was a short time. And I think that's important to try to keep things at a pretty reasonable amount of time. I think one of the things that people don't do is they don't value your time. And I want to do that. I want to value your time. I know you want to. There's other things that you could be doing. I want you to be able to do those. So, we're going to sign off. I want to first, before I do, ask you once again to like, share, and hit the notification bell below so that you can be notified when we come out with other material. I'm hoping that you gain something from it. It's not a hit on anyone, but it's just for us understanding that we think differently, and not everything that is said is meant for everybody. Some things are just meant for guys. Some things are meant for guys. and gals. And then some things are meant for just gals. So it's just one of those kinds of things. So it's not, and this particular idea of mindedness, feminine and masculine mindedness, approaches a little bit of both around a particular topic. Okay? Anybody mad at me? I don't want you to be mad. I want you to change your mind. Consider thinking about it differently than you have in the past. That's what changing your mind is. And changing your mind is basically it's a Greek word for repent. That's all changing your mind is. Or that's what repenting or repentance is. So changing your mind. You can't change your actions until you change your mind. Mind precedes action and behavior. Right? So if we think as a man thinks, so are they. So the way you think is important. And everything that you've been taught is not correct. Some things that you've been taught needs to be rethought. And you need to change your mind about some things. And the only way that you can change your mind about some things is to consider new ways of thinking. And you can always go back to the old way of thinking, but you need to really consider thinking differently about something, a topic, a subject, and not holding on. See, God can't do anything, and if you're just going to hold on to the old way. And believe me, the first time that you learn something is not the totality of the truth of it. It's not. God feels everything. The Creator feels all in all. You don't think that there's more to learn? You think you got all the totality of the truth of that particular subject the first time? You didn't. You just got what you could handle. Now, can you handle more? Or are you going to stay right there? That's what the children of Israel did. They left Egypt, and they can only go as far as they can go. And some of them stayed, well, look, I'm going to stay right here. I can't go any further. Is that you? Or are you going to go all the way to the mountain? Are you going to go all the way to Mount Zion? Are you going to go all the way? Or are you going to fall by the wayside and just say that this is good enough for me? Because this is how I was reared. This is what my parents taught me. This is what my church taught me. Just because your church taught you, your religion taught you, your mom, your dad, my mom and dad taught me about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. How did that one work out? Okay? But that's the idea. We have to think and figure things out with the help of the Spirit. We can. So, thanks again. I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night. Dr. G. Alpha Palmer. And I'm out. Peace.